Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Blazing Pedals ARCA Series. It's the start of the round of 16 as the full field gets a reset. We're here on Green Flag TV for tonight's coverage for the first race of said round from Pocono Raceway in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. I'm Justin Prince, going to be joined on site tonight by Emmett Crow. Our producer this evening is Howie Burrows. These drivers are getting ready for the start of the postseason. That's with these drivers getting ready to attack the tricky triangle. 3 different distinct corners, as well as, in turn, high speeds. Lap times of more than 55 seconds allow these drivers to battle out, needing to stay aerodynamic, but also efficient on how well they run the racetrack. As well, tonight is getting set to go for this evening. Emmett, we start things off with the postseason with the 16 drivers in. Justin Levine, Dalton Kilroe, Chris Carroll, TBB, Gibson, Zimmerman, Harmon, Arthur, Dees, Kleinsman, Lagoons, Marasco, Bell, Bruden, Marr, and Perkins. It's a lengthy list, but each driver will have 3 races per round to see if they can advance and keep their championship hopes alive. On that note here, as we get set to go here for tonight, these drivers will be racing for 84 laps here from Pocono. These drivers will have 16 and 32 lap respectively cutoffs for the stages to start things off for a 15-2 lap run to the finish. Remember, these drivers also will have 75% fuel limits here for tonight. So we'll see how the drivers fare with the fuel limits. Under 30 laps or so should be for the runs. here at the moment. Phoenix and New Hampshire, remember, are the other tracks in this round, as these drivers will run more than 100 laps apiece when we go short track racing back-to-back weeks. We're battling on for the championship as they go through Bristol, Darlington, Twin Rim Motegi is actually the cutoff for the round of 12. Then it's all about speed in the round of 8 with Michigan, Nashville, and Auto Club a part of that. It's still to be determined who the championship is going to go to and where that championship is going to be ran. Emmett now brought alongside here. So let me ask you this. Your thoughts as we start up the postseason with a full field reset, Emmett?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, Justin. We're coming off that Labor Day weekend, week break, and I'm excited to see what this first race for the playoffs is going to do here at Pocono.
These drivers just finished up a 10-minute qualifying session. 21 drivers, and we can tell you based on the attendance marks that just about everybody in the postseason is here tonight. So a majority of your field will be marked with white numbers in the background. Ty Moresco starts on the pole tonight. Dalton Kilrow next to him, 32 one-thousandths of a second, the difference for the pole. Cody Gibson starts in third. Brian Dees starts next to him in row number 2. Brian Zimmerman starts fifth, and then Hunter Goons in the Dale Jarrett throwback will start in the 6th position. Then Kyle Woolman, the first of the non-playoff drivers. Mark Arthur's next to him in the Barbie car. Rounding up the top 10, Tanner Marr and Chris Mackey will start 10th, Emmett.
Yeah, in 11th, we're going to find Chris Carroll in the 97 machine. In 12th, we'll find William Bruton in the 83 car. And then we'll find Justin Levine, who went on a hot streak there for a little bit, Justin, in the 5, lining up next to John Perkins in the 33 Loves machine. Then we find TBB, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, in the 10 machine, lined up next to Aaron Bachhover in the 44 machine in 16th. Then in 17th, we're going to find Trevor Harmon lined up next to Matthew Kleinschmidt in the 59 machine. And then further on, we'll find Nicholas Moody in the Army machine lined up next to Larry Bell in the 43. And rounding out the field will be the 20 of Mike Massengill in 21st in the 20 machine.
Look, top to bottom of the running order here tonight. Here with this one, again, 84 laps as mentioned is your distance. What are some of your keys to victory when it comes to Pocono, Emmett, especially knowing these drivers will have lots of time to battle around the racetrack and a fairly hot track temperature to do it so?
Yeah, so with this hot temperatures, it's really going to eat the tires up. But also, I mean, fuel is going to be a big factor. We think of Pocono, we think of those fuel mileage races. So look for tires and fuel to be the factor today, Justin.
Who do you think is going to get themselves a victory here today and make things easier for the postseasons, especially knowing, keep in mind, the cutoff difference for some of these drivers is minimal. You have Justin Levine with 29 bonus points, Kilroy with 24, Carroll with 16, then everybody else is 5 and below. How critical will it be for the victory, and who will get that victory tonight, you think?
It is going to be very critical. I pick Kilroy. When I pick Kilroy, Levine usually wins. When I pick Levine, Kilroy usually wins. So we're going to go with the dark horse. I'm going to go with Mr. Ty Marasco. I think he gets her done tonight for sure.
Would be interesting from the poll. Marasco, mind you, is the one of 3 drivers, in fact, on the cut line coming into this evening. The only drivers without bonus points are Larry Bell, William Bruton, Tanner Marr, and Sean Perkins. They're all below the top 12 cutoff to start off the postseason. But we're happy to have you with us here on Green Flag TV for tonight's coverage of Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series. Moresco leads them to green. Kilroy gets the jumper underway. Making our way through turn 3, Dalton Kilroe so far off to a huge jump, already up by 4 car lengths with a run for the outside off of 1 on forward. Marasco up and holding on to second. So far, Kilroe showcasing speed with clean air, looking to dominate. He, mind you, in practice was only middle of the pack, 4/10 off the fastest time with the draft, but he is in clean air, starting to build a buffer.
Yeah, and with him being in clean air, I mean, it's going to take a lot for Marasco to get some drafting help from Brian Dees to see if they can get up there, and maybe get a push also from Cody Gibson, get that accordion effect going. So that might give Marasco a chance to catch up to Kilroe. But how many times have we seen, Justin, this year, Dalton Kilroe just dominate races right off the gate?
We've seen that a lot. Looking at some of the counts here, Kilroe has taken 1 provisional this season, but in terms of what he's been able to do in this series in general, when you break down his stats across the campaign, you're talking about somebody who throughout his career across the platform led more than 9,000 laps. In terms of the season, he's been able to lead 611, 18% of the time he's been leading, and he is having a technical issue. You look away for one moment, he blinks away. Kilroe, disaster. We'll see if he pops up. He is.
Yeah, he popped back in, Justin, but that's just such a hard thing for our second place driver, Tom Marasco, because he doesn't know where he's at. You know, he might think that he's passing you it, and all of a sudden Kilroe blinks back in, and they could get together, and it could cause chaos in this first opening race of the playoffs.
Well, that's an interesting discussion point all of a sudden. Here's the thing. You don't get fed draft when the car blinks like that here, Emmett. It takes away that dirty air factor also a bit, where it manipulates the air if you end up losing that car like that in front of you.
Yeah, and the thing about these cars is, Justin, I mean, these are the Gen 6 body style Cup cars. So they don't really handle good in the draft. You know, they're not like, oh, man. Zimmerman got way loose right there off of Lagoon's bumper.
Now, some of these drivers getting a little bit dicey back there. We'll say there is a pass attempt, but the driver just at the fast lap on your top ticker. You look at Marasco. Chris Carroll is a bit on the move here, up 4 and about to try and make it a +5. So the 97, the next person to keep an eye on your pylon. You see from behind what Kilroe is dealing with. The gap is gone. All while Carroll is charging ahead and trying to pass a teammate. Now, the funny thing is, when you break down the statistics by percentage of laps turned versus laps led, Carroll's actually led more laps, but hasn't had as much in the finishing category to get the bonus points. 20% of the time, he's been a leader after all this season. But for the points, only 16 total playoff points to start the postseason.
Yeah, and we think about Carroll, you know, he got that huge win at Martinsville and really rocketing his momentum up. But yeah, Pit Lizard Racing, I mean, those guys have been tuned in. But Two Dudes also have been tuned in as we think about also the team standings. It's been very interesting for sure, Justin.
And for the lead, Marasco making things interesting, making the pass. Kilroe, the only one of the top 5 from the bottom of the racetrack. Kilroe electing to push, not electing to go for the lead right on back like he probably could have had the chance for. So Marasco now controls things with the clean air. We're already less than 10 laps to go on the stage.
Yeah, we see right here Chris Carroll getting a shot for Brian Zimmerman, trying to get him past Cody Gibson. As we see Brian D's going to rocket pass for the moment, trying to clear Dalton Kilroe.
Yeah, you definitely don't want dirty air. It's so difficult to break out of it here. The NASCAR Coke race when it came to the Cup Series body. The winning moment was actually the race off pit road. It was a part of a stretch of multiple races. That should tell you how hard it is to make the pass in the first place. And the ARCA car's very similar. Dirty air is a major factor here. So you have to find those clean air pockets.
Well, yeah, and that's what these guys used to talk about the Gen 6 body. You know, they're like, you can't pass either on intermediate short tracks or super speedways like here. But it's just very interesting how these cars really act in the draft. I mean, we haven't had a...
Oh, hold on 1 second. Kilrow just had a tech issue middle of the pack. He is screaming, I know, I know. He was inside Mark Arthur's car. He is reporting thunderstorms are in his vicinity, which is causing the technical issues. This is scary for the field.
Yeah, this is scary for Kilrow too. I mean, who we think could be the favorite to win this championship, and for him to have a big moment like this, unbelievable.
Yeah, this is not good to start off his run for the postseason. Remember, points he scored at the end of lap 16. We'll say, as we've discussed things, Brian Dees' main thing interesting. You know who's been really good at these types of racetracks, though? Cody Gibson. He's going for second. He's coming in with just 4 bonus points from the regular season. We know Gibson's got speed to win races. Just can't clear on by the 17 as he battles for second, and Carroll wants to help.
Yeah, Carroll trying to help him, giving Gibson a big shot down that long straightaway into turn number 1. But look at Ty Marasco just able to get that clean air. And now it shows, you know, we saw Kilrow with the clean air, but it's showing how good that clean air is. It doesn't matter who you are. Once you get that clean air, your car is golden pretty good in the lead.
In a really prime position right now, and keep in mind Marasco just one time all season won a stage, and when breaking down his position for the cutoff, he was at the edge of the cutoff. He was the 16th car the postseason. Justin Levine 3 wide for a moment.
Oh, man.
A little bit of contact. Tanner Moore saying some apologies. Arthur just pushed Lagoons out of the groove, and the 27 holds on to it. Levine takes the spot.
Yeah, Levine takes the spot away. Now he's got his eyes set on Mark Arthur in the Barbie machine. And I tell you, Justin Levine has also been, it's been either Kilrow or Levine there for a little bit in this Blazing Pedals series for sure.
Yeah, Levine, mind you, 8-time stage winner, but more importantly, 7-time race winner. Here comes Dees. Wants the lead. He's so far this season 3 times with top 5 finishes. This time making a move. Nearly got moved out of the way as here comes your biggest mover in Carroll.
Yeah, Chris Carroll going to use the inside line. No drafting help for the moment, but here comes Brian Zimmerman, who's having a great run so far. And he's trying to give Carroll a push to push him past Dees, but Dees has drafting help from Marasco.
A little bit crafty in terms of these positions right now. Some great battling around the racetrack. Carroll now goes to the inside, looking to try and pass by Dees. Dees a little bit slower on the apex off, couldn't get the gas down, and it sets up the perfect run for the 97 with the help of Marasco this time to clear on by. Chris Carroll, in less than 10.5 laps, is able to charge up 10 spots. That's a pass a lap.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is, about these cars is, you can side draft. Unlike, you know, the Gen 7 Cup cars. With these ARCA cars, you can draft just a little bit, but you can really hurt yourself also because there's a pocket of air. And if you get too close for too long, you're going to send somebody around because they get very aero loose with these cars.
Dirty air normally a factor, as we've talked about, but there is the air factor. The amount of draft suction you get with these cars. We're seeing that with Marasco making a swap back. Arthur trying to move his way around Dees the outside. More side by side with Carroll able to get the crossover. The draft, some can argue, is very strong in these cars. We're seeing that in full effect. Even though there's dirty air impacting the cornering speed, the straight line speed is still so powering. It's like Daytona right now.
Yeah, that's the thing about Pocono in these cars. You know, the rules package, like when they used to run these in NASCAR in the Cup Series, they had the different rules package with the different horsepowers and the different aerodynamic packages where they were only running 550 horsepower. But, I mean, it's just unbelievable how big these spoilers are that you get an advantage on the draft. It's definitely makes for some interesting racing.
Here we go. We have a crash. Zooming up
man.
the track. Multiple cars stack up. Caution flag waves. It collects the 29 in the last moment in Trevor Harmon. A parking lot in turn 1, and it involves majority of postseason drivers in it.
Yeah, and I believe Bockover went over as we take a look at the replay right here. Let's see.
That was in the heart of the chaos as Zimmerman got clipped, and then right back up the track to Perkins. Even harder, Bockover into the fence.
Yeah, Bockover goes up and over. Is that Kilrow?
Not sure there. Bockover was the only one with the meatball flag.
I think I saw Kilrow, Justin, get a lot of damage.
Can confirm. Kilrow lost a hood and a nose. Bockover was hit by him in the midst of the flipping. Kilrow indeed, we've seen the red nose is gone without a front nose.
That's going to be huge. Now, how many fast repairs do they have?
0. That's the big thing.
Wow. That's it's going to be tough to drive that car with no nose aerodynamically.
Bastigill is also going to be without a nose here too. Yeah, Zimmerman hit the back of Gibson and it actually spun him around. But Marr, it's contact and it's caused pure calamity coming back on the racetrack. There goes Bastigill into it. They just slack up. Look at that with the 60 though. Nicholas Moody stopping on a dime to missing contact.
Yeah, he stopped right on the dime, used that ARCA brake perfect. Was able to stop and not have any contact.
Zimmerman does get the cause of caution, by the way, so he gets an end line pony. Again, full speed. Straight up the racetrack. In terms of the collection, at least 6 or 7 cars got some piece of it, I believe. Now coming back alive.
I was going to say, it looked like, was that William Bruton that didn't get any damage? He was able to avoid it, I believe, on the high side?
Believe so. And he is a playoff driver. But we do have pit strategy. Ryan Dees just came in. Here's the funny thing. The original scheduled distances, at least coming into tonight, had been 16 and 32. These drivers just pit on coming to lap 15.
Wow.
So it's going to be interesting how they break things down here. Right. This could be considered the stage break if that's the case. Going to have to get confirmation here. Just hearing, this will be stage break. Just got the confirmation from race control. So Chris Carroll will get the stage lead over Marasco, Arthur, Wellman, Levine, Gibson, Kleinsmith, Lagoons, Marr, Bell is the top 10.
Well, that also helps him with his playoffs, too.
There is a lot of discussion on the radio saying that there shouldn't have been allowed anybody to pit, but here we are. We'll see how they handle things here, but I'd like to remind you, this series does have a presenting sponsor. Ohio and Indiana Roofing is a premier roofing contractor. They're a sister company to the Bruns Construction Enterprise. We specialize in commercial and industrial roofing and are committed to accommodating the unique needs of each client, offering creative solutions to meet those needs. We are a team of individuals who work for the same common goals. professionalism, quality, and service. Services we offer include preventative maintenance, re-roof, new construction, infrared scanner, green roof solutions, metal, retrofit, emergency repair services, and more. Please visit oiroofing.com for more information. So there is a lot of confusion on the radio, by the way, as they are now on lap 16. Some people are saying that there shouldn't have been more pit stops. Some of the people, like William Bruton, actually just came down pit road. So they did extend the caution flag for the stage break, by the way. We are at, should be about 3 or 2 laps to go on pacing. So this has turned a little bit chaotic with about now half the field pitting technically before the stage is even over yet. We're not even done lap 16 yet.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because, I mean, when there's 2 laps to go in the stage, you know, pits are closed. So is everyone going to get an EOL, I wonder?
Going to get that confirmation for race control if we can here. But I will say this. It's been some good racing so far, at least up front. What did you say about the racing?
Yeah, the racing's been unbelievable. Great battles all over the track. You know, we had some 3-wide action with Justin Levine and Mark Arthur and them, and it's just been great racing so far.
So, we'll see what happens here as they come around the racetrack.
No, pit road now will be your last chance to pit.
Drivers are now being told this is the last chance right here. They are going to be allowed to pit, including to get damage lane. But the thing is, the sim had closed pit road, so there's a lot of confusion from the drivers still on the situation. So we are at 1 to go, and most of the field is getting set for the restart here. This is not how I think anybody expected this caution period to go.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, Chris Carroll, Ty Marasco, Justin Levine, Mark Arthur, Matthew Kleinschmidt, Cody Gibson, the top 6 here. Half the field is for sure good on gas for the stage, by the way. Half the field is now borderline, Emin, and that's the big thing about how some of the people couldn't come down there. Even if the tire wear wasn't to be a factor, because there was a fault before the caution flag of a 1-second margin, it still, can the rest of the field make it now?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for sure. If they can either make it in one stop or if they're going to have to come down and top off or whatever.
And for those wondering why is there confusion, they could have stayed out here, is half the field, I think, didn't realize they had the option to pit because the time of the stage had not gotten the confirmation until after the first wave of pit stops that it was indeed the stage break from race control. So we'll see how Carroll now handles this in stage 2. Seen a lot of back and forth with the pull of the draft.
But here's the big thing. What a move by Carroll to get the stage win, get those points, and ultimately, you know, help him out in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Green flag is out, backing away. Marasco didn't get as big of a jump. Levine got a great jump, already to 3rd from the outside. He's already looking for 2nd. Justin Levine already on the prowl, makes the cut, and is now up 11 with the pass on Marasco, but will it stick? Not yet.
Yeah, Justin Levine, great wheel, man. I mean, some of the moves he makes, I'm like, how does that stick? I mean, he makes some crazy moves, but I mean, he does them, you know, not crazy, but like professionally, where he can actually get her done like that, and he knows where the car's going to stick and where it's not, it seems like.
Now we have trouble. Kleinschmidt, Gibson, around goes the 59. And we're under caution as more drivers lose the front nose of their race cars. Gibson got into the back end of the 59. And meatball flags go flying.
Yeah, we saw it live right here as Cody Gibson gave Justin Levine a shot. And I don't know if Kleinschmidt thought he was clear. And that's why he didn't move out of the way. Thought Cody Gibson wasn't going to come up on the track. But let's take another look right here. Yeah, that's what it was, Justin. I think Kleinschmidt actually checked up a little bit, and Cody Gibson didn't realize it, and that's why I got in the back of him right there.
You can make the counterpoint, though, that Gibson, who is taking responsibility for it on the radio, by the way, had almost tried to go to the middle but missed it. Mm-hmm. So it almost looks like he was trying to move up at least and try and get to the outside of Levine. But, of course, Kleinschmidt was there and had already chosen to run the lane Gibson was now going to take. And without front noses here, significant damage repairs are in their futures here.
Yeah, and another thing, Gibson, well, I think Kleinschmidt's in the playoffs too, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. He absolutely is.
2 more playoff drivers having trouble once again. Unbelievable.
And remember, Kleinschmidt is actually the driver with the least amount of starts who made the postseason. 14 starts on the season. Majority of those in the postseason had at least, on average, 19-20 starts. And as to be expected, everybody who didn't get to pit under the stage break confusion is now in, and this means Dees, Butchers, Benjamin, Wellman, Mackey, and Bruton are all the leaders. So there goes the fuel situation, but there goes the track position too.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of track position, as it looks like. Let's see, it's going to be from 7th on back.
5th on forward.
Okay, so 5th. So, I mean, you're still going to be back there in dirty air. And especially on these restarts, how chaotic they've been, you could get caught up in a wreck. I mean, that's the bad thing about the situation for sure.
You do have some pit strategy as you see some of the replays. Marasco won the race off pit road. You know why? He and several others either took fuel only in the case of Nicholas Moody, or 2 tires. Marasco, Levine, both took 2. Despite many laps of the left side tires. Kind of shows the indication of how the tires are on the platform with the car with the left side tire wear. But you can also argue they're going to be looser, and loose is fast.
Yeah, loose is fast, but loose can also get you into some trouble. It's a fine line between being loose and being very controllable when you are loose. I mean, if you're super loose, then it's going to be hard to control for sure.
Absolutely. So, see where things go on this restart situation. He's now going to have to clean air. Nicholas Moody is coming back down. Several drivers who actually pit the first caution came down and took another set. Mind you, 3 of those drivers also had more than a minute of damage repair. But the tire set situation, there's only 4 in pit road here tonight. So we get set for the restart. The first of those who pit will start outside row 3. Now, it's going to be difficult with the heart of the pack for some of these drivers to fare things out. Chris Mackey, Kyle Wellman can test themselves. Will Bruton needs good finishes once the postseason bracket. So we'll see what happens here as you get ready for the restart. So how do you approach this if you're the drivers on the newer tires with those that don't have as much experience up front now having the track position?
Patience. You need to be very patient. Don't get impatient and try to drive up through the field and cause what could be a big one for sure.
Talking about the team side of things real quickly here, Evan, by the way, before this restart. Two Dudes Racing has been the most consistent team with 6 times getting the top spot for team points. MFRD, as we touched upon, very fast, 2 with 5. One Sim has had 4 in terms of having drivers who made starts. It's so difficult to score team points, and some of these organizations and their respective drivers are part of their teams ready to do battle. Here in this stage, some of the independents now up front. Let's find out how this goes on the restart. Pace car drops off. Quick restart zone here at Pocono. Green, 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 and the inside line goes.
And inside line goes. Great restart, but look at TBB. He's right up next to trying to get that side draft from Brian Dees. Brian Dees moves up in front to break the draft, but that's going to allow Kyle Wellman to get to the inside and try to make the move right here.
Wellman trying to make the poke. Dees gets the pole. TBB goes up. Here comes Marasco. Marasco trying to make some aggressive passes while the battle for the lead is on. Darryl Butcher Benjamin nearly missed the bottom. Marasco now slips his way alongside. Dees gets pushed out of the groove. Now Wellman trying to go for the lead. Butcher Benjamin goes for a huge block. Everybody being aggressive as Marasco pushes up the hill. It opens up the door for Carroll to run the rumble strips into the grass.
Yeah, and look at Carroll right here. He's on those new tires, Justin. So it's going to be interesting to see how quick he can get around Wellman and Butcher Benjamin and try to get to this lead. But look at Levine right here trying to shoot it 3 wide.
Everybody not taking the time to be patient. They're saying, we've got to go. There's less than 10 laps to go again in the stage. Butcher Benjamin with the clean air right now for the time being, but it's Carroll for third. A little bit deeper, missing the bottom. Able to get the angle right as Levine gets checked up. No, that's Mackey who's getting checked up. A couple others going up towards the wall.
Yeah, we've seen Mackey. He's having a great run tonight. You know, he's had quite a bit of trouble in this Blazing Pedals League. Been caught up in a lot of wrecks, so good to see the 9 machine of Mackey having a good run out there.
Right now, we're seeing some of these drivers make these hardy cuts. You see Dees trying to fight hard for second. Gassed it up early, trying to get some rotation. Bumps the 42 up the groove. Here comes the push for Levine.
Yeah, Levine's going to get a big shot right here. He's going to give it to, to Wellman. Now he's going to try to shoot to the inside and use the drafting help for Brian Dees, trying to take the second place away, but he was trying to go for the lead, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone right there.
Yeah, Dees getting pushed way far back in the order. 60 laps to go. This time by overall in the race. Carroll having a hard time breaking through Marasco. Now getting passed again by Levine, the 5 Kings machine of Wellman. Now sees Butcher Benjamin go down. You see everyone streak by on the front straight away. But it's starting to snake out in terms of the draft effect. Butcher Benjamin wants a playoff point.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these cars. You know, we see them all the time at Pocono, especially on restarts. We see that snake effect go into effect, where they will drop all the way down almost to the apron, trying to break the draft from the car behind them.
Right now, Butcher Benjamin's been doing a good job defending the draft as we go, but they keep on going here. What will they do? Well, Wellman's way too low. Everyone's been trying to run those rumble strips for whatever reason tonight, Emmett. And that just snapped Wellman off out of the groove and puts Levine to second.
Yeah, those rumble strips, I don't know why people try to run them. They really don't help at all. Usually if you get down there, it's slicker than now it's not. So if you get down there or in the grass, your car digs into that grass, then you can have some major problems. And there goes Mark Arthur.
Caution flag is out. Our second for incident. And the 2 Dudes Racing machines, both of them with damage this time. It's a hit from Hunter Lagoons that causes the caution.
I think Arthur was just like a pinball right there, bouncing off of Chris Mackey as he was trying to get that side draft. And that's what I was talking about, Justin. You can't stay side by side for too long or you will get arrow loose. And I think that's what happened to Mark Arthur right there.
This is Kyle Wellman, by the way. Way too low, well below the O-line. Actually hit the grass on top of the rumble strips. You can say he's trying to shortcut the corner, but that's a risk when you go that low.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, and we saw right there, that's just what happens. As we take a look right here on board, yeah, got way too loose down there because it's so slick down there because there's no grip or anything, and it ultimately cost him that second place.
So we're under caution yet again. And by the time we get back going, it'll be a quick shootout to decide the stage. Great opportunity for Levine and Marasco in particular to try and battle with TBB on the newer tires, or rather with their 2-tire calls, seemingly helping them out right here. Been an interesting one so far, but Butcher Benjamin this season has on average been running around 8th or so in these races. More than 3,000 laps on the season alone from Butcher Benjamin, but he's only led 223. Big opportunities here if he's going to be able to hold on and keep clean air for Taylor Butcher Benjamin, one of the more active drivers in the series.
Yeah, it'd definitely be huge, especially trying to hold Mr. Justin Levine behind you. But he's going to have drafting help from Kyle Wellman, so it'll be interesting right here on the restart.
Butcher Benjamin, out of those who run full time, is the most active, by the way, in keeping the top 10 for finishes. Pit stop party, Lagoons, as well as everyone else with damage, is coming down. Moody, Perkins, Arthur, Kilrow. All down lap car, Lucky Dog, Kleinsmith. This caution period. EOL appears to come over the stem for Arthur in his pit stop sequence also. And now it's going to be, how aggressive do we see this fight for the lead get, do you think here, Emmett?
Well, I think it's coming down to the end of the stage, right?
Absolutely. We're coming up to already under 5 to go.
Yeah, it's going to be very aggressive. It's going to be a shootout to decide who wins the stage. So I think if I'm a crew chief, I'm telling my driver just to remain patient, just don't burn up your stuff, and then with about 3 or 2 laps to go in the stage, that's when you make your move because you don't want to make it too early.
So we'll see what the drivers do here, as Kleinsmith has an issue on pit road despite being the EOL car. Doesn't have a lot of time, by the way, to actually take the service. That's why I think he just sped and missed his pit stall. But can't confirm about a 3-lap dash will decide how this stage fares out.
So take out what I said when I said to turn them loose about 3 or 2 laps to go. Turn them loose right here, but be patient, be cautious, but still be aggressive.
Here we go. On to go signal. Butcher Benjamin, Levine, setting things up here. Some of the drivers just now are coming out pit road. Mark Arthur, I don't know if he beat the pace car out. Does get the chance to accelerate though. He does say he's on the lap, so it was close.
Wow.
To avoid a pit road closing penalty. And he's got that car basically fixed.
Yeah, it looks like a brand new race car.
Here's how close it got. It was a little bit close. It was pretty close, in fact, by a couple car lengths.
Yeah, it was too close for comfort for sure.
So here we go, coming up to what will be a quick run. Decide who gets stage points here. And we just had a delay green. Wow. Matthew Kleinschmidt just stopped on the racetrack because he had an EOL penalty. And because he was going below the speed threshold, that's why we just got an EOL penalty. Kleinschmidt was going 22 miles an hour, and that was considered a stop to them.
Wow.
He was still going. Just too slow.
Yeah, just a little bit too slow, but now you think about, Justin, think about the fuel that these cars have, because, I mean, it's been a minute since some of these guys last pitted for fuel.
I think it's still good for the stage. It's just a matter of what they do once we finish the stage. You're only going to have 2 laps now instead of 3 to battle it out, though. So there's not as much time to be able to think about the moves. You're going to have to hurry if you want this stage to win, to say the least now.
I think you got to look at this like Supercross and try to get that whole shoot on that restart out of turn 1, and then going down the backstretch trying to get to the tunnel turn. Get the advantage for sure.
Yep, indeed. Yep, 2 laps again is the iteration. Drivers getting a little bit chatty on the radio. Everyone being very, let's say, cordial, let's call it, is the way to say it. These drivers just want to go racing. I mean, is it fun to ride in a car ride for hours upon hours and go the speed limit? No, you love to go 200 miles an hour all the time. You want to drive and get to your favorite city within an hour, not 5.
Yeah, it's like the great Ricky Bobby said, I want to go fast.
One driver who is part-time this season, Jason T. Powell, said he missed the race because he threw a timing chain in his truck out and had people over, so that took priority. So that's why we were 1 less down for starters tonight. But it's 2 more down to go in terms of laps. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Butcher Benjamin, a good start. Pit road is closed. The race is on for the stage.
Here we go. This is it. They're going to fan out right here. TBB's going to shoot up high. Oh, man. Almost shot into the wall trying to block Justin Levine. Levine, very aggressive, trying to take that lead as we see him shoot to the outside.
Now, right now, Marasco already up to 3rd. Just about sawed off the nose of the 42. Levine trying to chase down Butcher Benjamin. Trying to go a little bit lower. Marking it down to the yellow line. Butcher Benjamin got a better line. Here comes Carroll trying to move himself back into the top 4.
Yeah, Carroll going to shoot underneath Wellman. Trying to get here. Here they come, Justin. White flag at the stage.
Coming up to 1 to go in stage 2 from Pocono. Levine's got a good head of steam on the draft. Builds it up within a car length. Underneath it. Will he make the cut? He does. Butcher Benjamin lets Levine go for the send. Levine hits the apron in the process, though. Marasco taking the real estate up high instead. Butcher Benjamin elects to feed the trap to the 1. Now it's Marasco with an opportunity.
Yeah, and look at Chris Carroll. So if Justin Levine wants to try some on the inside, he has drafting help from Carroll. But look at this, Marasco to the inside, Justin.
Marasco now ready to leapfrog again. Trying to take over another spot. Marasco.
Oh, man.
Marasco takes it away in the final corner, coming to the end of stage 2. Marasco tries to hold on low side. Butcher Benjamin trying to nerve pull, but it's going to be the one, Moresco. Butcher Benjamin, Levine, Carroll, Wellman, the top 5. Dees, Marr, Bell, Mackey, and Harmon. What's your top 10 after 2 stages here?
Wow.
Wow is all you can say at the end, yeah.
Race.
Now Moresco getting himself an extra playoff point and gets, more importantly for this round, some points to build a buffer over that cut line that is so pivotal here. The others that are below the cut line have not had good nights, we will say. But now it's Moresco that's able to at least try and get some extra spots built up. Better yet, gets an extra point that, if he was indeed to move on into the next round, would put him around starting in 8th spot or 9th, rather than all the way down in 12th like he did for this round.
Wow. And that's huge right there. Huge stage win for Moresco. Man, that was unbelievable, the move he pulled on BBB.
It's like it's getting squared away for these drivers as we get ready for pit stops. And from here it comes down to green flag strategy on when we pit if we do get the long green flag runs from this point forward. It's going to be pretty clear though, 2 tires can work here with the time difference in terms of the stage.
Yeah, definitely they can.
Do you think 2 tires are going to come out here on this pit stop?
You know, I mean, it's going to be such a long stage. I mean, what, 50, less than 40 laps in this final stage? I think we're going to see guys go with 4 since it's going to be the long run. Now, if we have if it was a short run, yeah, 2 tires. But I think since it's a long run, we'll see 4 come out.
Here we go, wave for pit stops. And as expected, basically everybody is coming on down for some fuel to be able to get even. We will be at less than 50 to go in the stage by the time things finish up here. Already, these laps turning pretty quickly as a result of the timing of some of these caution flag periods. So let's keep an eye on the pit stop deltas. Zimmerman is basically the only one not in the pit lane right now. 2 tires Wellman, 2 tires Nicholas Moody. Wellman is the first off pit road. How about that? Everybody else took 4. And now we'll see how this holds out. Wellman did have solid position at the end of that stage, and now he's going to be tested here as the only driver to take the call he just did, Emmett. And he has stepped away. My apologies there. So, as we get sorted out, it's Wellman, Butcher Benjamin, Levine, Carroll, Moody, Dees, Moresco, Marr, Harmon, Bell, Lagoons, Arthur. That are your running order on the racetrack. Everybody else is taking damage repair. Kilrose, Zimmerman, Mackey, Bruden, Perkins, as well as Kleinsmith are still attempting to run laps. Gibson is out of the race at the moment. Massengill and Bockover are official DNFs. This stage will go, by the time we get back going, 48 laps to the end. Should be a one-stopper the rest of the way. So here we go. They get stacked up for the one to go. Field rushes out as no close calls this time. The lappers getting repairs done. Interesting affair so far for those tuning in here for Blazing Pedals and the ARCA Series here tonight. Reminder once again, next week it will be Pocono, not on the schedule. It will be Phoenix, that will be 188 laps for a transition race, day to night at Phoenix Raceway. 38, 76, and then 112 total laps to complete. Will be a part of the stage equation next time out. Catch that here on Green Flag TV. Coverage time starts at approximately 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Catch it from Avondale, Arizona, only on Green Flag TV.
Now, is that the new layout or the old layout?
That is a good question. It doesn't indicate the difference for the series. But my thought would be new.
I was thinking.
Reminder as well that for the Boys Racing League is also underway as well. I don't know how things go tonight. We may also get the chance to join them. They're running 250 laps at Bristol right now.
Oh, gosh.
In the Gen 5 car.
That would be very interesting for sure.
It is interesting. They're having a race in the sunshine. We're still in the sun, just not orange colored. Wellman off and away. Taylor Butcher Benjamin was somewhere on Planet Rick. He gets caught sleeping as the field zips on by him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any indication of him. He might have missed a gear because, like, he didn't spin his tires or anything, so I don't know what happened there.
Well, Levine trying to make a poke for the race lead. Wellman holds on to it for the time thing. So we'll kind of see what happens with this battle up front. Side by side, Dees and Carroll. After Carroll had such good short run speed in stage one, he hasn't had it since then. Carroll's been having a more harder time making these passes compared to what he did earlier, Emmett.
Yeah, he's had a hard time, but we see right here is it's just getting caught in that dirty air, Justin. And, you know, we see right here he's on the back of TBB trying to get some draft, maybe to try to pull a slingshot and pull out and try to get this third place and ultimately get to Justin Levine's bunker.
Yeah, here we go. See how long it takes to close up. We've seen it take 3-4 laps in some of these cases here for the pull-up. Carroll trying to set something up for third spot. Instead gets nearly hit by Dees. That checks everyone else up behind him. Tanner Marr, Ty Moresco, near contact. Moresco with that race off pit road. Lost a lot of spots initially after having decent track position before. A lot of chatter picking up on the radio as they run single file, and Moresco looks to make a move on the 4. Here comes the drop snake. Top two nearly turned hard left, trying to snake. As, speaking of hard lefts,
oh man,
Levine way low all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to try to challenge Wellman for the lead with that move, but yeah, golly, got way pushed down there.
Yeah, not sure why he went so far left. Maybe to stand out. He's still got the pull down the straightaways, though. Still 45 to go. Wellman's making it clear. Track position's very helpful, but draft is very strong still here. Oh, wow. Tanner Marr is keeping track position. This is one of the best races Marr's had all season, you could argue.
Yeah, definitely a great run for Tanner Marr. Gonna help him, could help him out in the playoffs. But look at this as we got Just Levine trying to battle for the lead, Justin.
No snake pull, but he got him bump trapped instead. Levine much deeper under braking. Parks it on Wellman's nose. Wellman gave him a break. In the one sim car, and Justin Levine to the race lead with the help of friendship. Butcher Benjamin gives him some help for good measure. Able to push him on for the race lead all the way down to the edges of the top 5 goes Wellman.
Yeah, Wellman got hung out to dry right there by Justin Levine, but had the drafted help from TBB and just rocketed to the lead. And now TBB is going to fall in second along with Chris Carroll in third.
Now we're seeing right now Levine try and break the draft still, but it's been made clear those staying up on the outside wall get a lot of pull. You see some battling still with Marasco, for example. Marasco having a hard time this stage so far, trying to hold back this traffic. Trevor Harmon is the one who's trying to make the move. Harmon hit the wall trying to keep the fender.
Yeah, I think he just kissed the wall right there, so it doesn't look like, I don't see much damage on Harmon's car, but look at TBB just trying to drop down as we see. Is that Hunter Lagoons battling with Harmon right here in the 29 machine.
Right now, 42 pitting in. Did I just hear that correctly? Yes, wow. Wellman's pitting. I'm not sure why. We ran 7 laps.
It could be those tires.
Something is wrong with the 42 here. Pitting from up front after a 2-tire pit stop. And let's keep on battling on here. Hearing that might be an illness situation with Wellman. We'll have to see. Battle is on up front for second. Carroll uses the apron to rotate. Slides up in front.
Yeah, look at Marasco going to take him 3 wide for the moment. Marasco way down on the apron. I mean, on the inside line, just trying to get some momentum. Now he's going to get the position away from Brian Dees, and he's got his eyes set on TBB.
Confirm Wellman has said he is getting sick on the radio and is currently sick. Fortunate for the 42, who is putting out a solid race day. But let's see what Carroll now does. Seems to be one of the fastest drivers here today. They line up astern together. And it seems like such driver-driven series when it comes to the talent level. We've seen how important it's been to be consistent. And we've seen that consistency come into play from Carroll. What did you just see?
I just saw Larry Bell hit the wall right there, but yeah, Carroll's been so consistent right there. But Larry Bell hard into the wall. As Brian Dees is trying to get under TBB right here.
Bell currently running 11th spot, by the way. He's the one who's way back in the order. Here comes the run for the race to lead, though. Carroll inside, Levine outside. Right now, Carroll's been using that apron to good measure.
Man.
Bit of a wash-up by Carroll. He gave a huge break to Levine, not pushing up the racetrack. Kept it clean as the shade hits the racetrack.
Yeah, I think he was just seeing if he was clear he was going to try that slide job. But when he saw that he wasn't going to be able to make it stick in front of Levine, that's why he got out of it.
Yeah, right now, Carroll going to have to take a few laps now just to have a chance to reset here to get back to Levine. We'll say a lot of side-by-side battling. Marasco still has not stopped battling with the U.S. firearms cars. Bob Keene's machine battling with him. He gets the pull instead now around Brian Dees. The elbows have it fully out for the one car all run long just to be able to make something work here. Forced up on the outside. This is working actually.
Yeah, the outside for Marasco, I think he saw that the outside's working a lot better than he was doing on the inside. And that's why he moved up to the outside. And he's able to get those 2 positions that they were giving him so much trouble trying to pass.
Yeah, we're seeing that really come in here. Carroll seems to be back in position to go for a pounce, though. Where will he try and make the move? Still 39 laps to work with. No stake this time, but we know Carroll might not wait too long. At the very least, he takes the energy to the bumper. And it's interesting when you have that choice here. Make the pass and risk burning up the stuff, or you just remain patient? What kind of goes through your mindset when you have a draft track like this on when you go?
I think that you're just being patient. You don't want to rock it out to the lead, and then, that could cost you in the long run. So I think you're patiently waiting. I mean, there's still 39 coming to 38 laps to go. So we still got a long ways to go. And that's what I'd be telling my driver. Just stay calm. And just when you get to about 4 or 5 laps to go, that's when you start amping it up. And then 3 to 2 is when you really get on it. And that's when you just let it all hang out there.
Seen that really come to shove. Speaking of shove, there it is right there.
Oh, man.
Now, right now, Butcher Benjamin getting a little bit darty. Marasco found the long run speed. He is now starting to make some of these moves as the lead pack starts to splinter.
Yeah, TBB hit the wall hard right there. I don't see any damage really, Justin, but that was a hard lick for TBB.
Marasco still making the move inside. Butcher Benjamin still on the outside. One wraps the bottom. Marasco couldn't clear though. The more they fight, you know what happens, Emmett? The more time they lose.
Yeah, the more time that allows Chris Carroll and Justin Levine to just check out and make this a 2-car battle for this win. And ultimately could cost the rest of these guys for sure.
Yep, right now. See how long it takes for them to reset here as everybody else single files out. Being always a strong driver when it comes to these races, still holding on as the Pied Piper here. When it won in multiple different series, this season no exception. When it comes to this series, as mentioned, 7 wins for the number 5 car. Out of his starts, he's only finished outside the top 10 3 times in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been a walking victory when it comes to the campaign. He and Kilroe have had near identical seasons. For comparison, Kilroe's just had more starts with 21 of them compared to the 19 for Levine.
And Levine used to be, wasn't he like a pro driver?
He's been a driver who's ran with pro teams, but hasn't been in the Coke level.
Okay, because I was thinking, I think he might have been on, wasn't he on the console side? I think in the
Not that I'm familiar with.
I can't remember if he's in the Heat 5 Pro League or not.
Don't believe so. But here comes Butcher Benjamin now with some side draft. Huge side draft, and now Levine feeding draft to the 10.
Yeah, Levine now, TBB, able to get a little bit. And look at how much it sucks his car up there. There's something going on in the back there, Justin.
And right now, Butcher Benjamin losing a lot of ground. Something happening to some of the drivers at the back of the field. You see that with some of those back there slowing down significantly. But Tower Butcher Benjamin's pass attempt did not work out at all. Down to 5th in the racing line. Marasco holds on. Arthur just about hit TBB back there.
Yeah, Arthur got on the apron, and Arthur, who was involved in that single car spin, hit the wall hard, but they got that car fixed. And now he finds himself running in the 6th position, trying to get a top 5 out of this. Wow.
Yeah, right now, time lost for Arthur. And it's becoming pretty clear if you're not on the high side, you're not making up ground. The problem is, high side's so difficult to get a run on in the first place.
Yeah, it is, but, we saw Ty Marasco use the outside line to get some momentum. But there's so much grip just on that inside line where everybody's been because they're really diamond in the corner after they go drifted up on the straightaways by the wall, and then in the corners, all the grip's down below. since they're using that inside line. And look at this, Tom Marasco to second.
Marasco able to slip up by again. High side. Gonna go from there, but we're already 17 laps through. Getting close to the midway point of the run pretty soon for that fuel run. So now it becomes the question, when do you come on down for fuel? That's gonna be a huge thing. We're already past the point where they've ran in any of the stages so far, Emmett. Now, it's going to get interesting, you were saying.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't mean to cut you off right there, but I was just going to say, and if you're further back in the pack, what strategy do you have to try to jump these guys and ultimately get better track position for sure?
Some of these drivers still trying the bottom at the very least, by the way. It's just not there right now, Emmett. Just that outside just seems to have such better suction because of that draft effect. That seems to be now the wear of the tires really factoring on in, and that's why no one else is really risking to make these moves.
Yeah, definitely. But now we see Marasco. He's actually going to use the outside line just for a moment. But like I said, everybody's drifting that car up next to the wall because that's where the speed is. And then they're diamond in the corner big time. So it's hard to find some grip up there. But once you find it, maybe it can work for you for sure.
Yeah, right now, Marasco just looking to see how far that section can go. Tanner Marr is the rear end of this draft, 9 cars thick. Coming up 31 laps to go. This time by Marr still has not been able to get much of the bottom yet.
Yeah, and realistically, I mean, any of these 9 cars can win this race for sure, Justin. And looking at this now, how we have Lagoons, Arthur, and they're trying to get D's. If those guys get hooked up and try to train the field, they could rocket to the lead.
Yep. And that's the tough thing is where the track position really comes into play is now, we'll say, Lagoons and Marr are now losing touch with the draft as a result of some of their battling back there. They're going to have to work hard to keep up. Mark Arthur just about moved Brian Dees out of the way. Dees just about got sent into 3 with a push. He says his rear bumper hurts. So let's take a look.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good reason for it to hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we got trouble. 29 hits the wall. Trevor Harmon. And Harmon washed up there and smacked the wall. Allows everybody to scramble around him. Butcher Benjamin, actually the big loser from that, did not pick up ground because he had to go to the inside for it. That's allowed the top 2 to break away a bit.
Yeah, I looked over and I saw TBB just on that inside line all by himself. And when that happened, he just got freight drained and lost all that momentum he had trying to get back up here to the lead.
Yeah, right now, line differences in the corners where Marasco's trying to find some clean air pockets for rotation, not working though.
Yeah, and Chris Carroll's actually in the catbird seat because if Marasco pulls alongside Levine, and like I said, Levine and Marasco get arrow loose, Chris Carroll could come in and steal this one away from him.
Yep, there is that opportunity here. Absolutely, Carroll licking his chops to try and do something. They are reaching lap traffic, by the way. Matthew Kleinsmith, who has been chugging his car along, is still on track without a front nose. About to be reached by these leaders. You see his modified popping out right now.
Yeah, look at that who knew we had open wheel cars in ARCA? But just a tough break. I said tough break for Kleinschmidt right here as we see him get out of the way from leaders and let them just go battle on their way.
So on the bottom two. Doesn't allow anybody to get a run as a result to the outside. Coming up to lap 23. Also, they have Kilrow that's also in that same situation. We'll say the point differential for some of the drivers like Kilrow still going to be closer to the cut line, but it's still a net positive for everybody who was above the cut line today, because the drivers below it are running all outside the top 10 here now. So,
yeah.
So there is not much point lost to the cut line for everybody.
Yeah, and what? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what a story that was. Dalton Kilrow, who was close. I mean, the two dominant drivers was Levine and Kilrow. For him to exit round one of the playoffs, that would be huge for sure.
Right now, you have great points days for drivers like Brian Dees. Boone is having a decent points haul this run, etc. here for this postseason. Here comes a huge run, Marasco. Does he take it? No, he'll just shove the 5 again. As lap traffic, Kilrow now being approached. Levine, bad spot to reach lap traffic.
Oh!
And Marasco gets hit. Marasco just got hit by Carroll corner exit. Marasco now with no damage loses all the time.
Yeah, tough break for Ty Marasco right there, and I don't know what happened. It didn't look like. Oh, we got a car turnaround.
Looking at the replay, but Mark Arthur just got turned around as it was offset 3. Let's take a look at Marasco. Right here.
Oh, wow.
Just got clipped onto the rear end, and this actually caused trouble because watch the 12 as he ends up being the trigger for the caution flag. He ended up trying to get around the lap traffic after that point and turned around in front of the 17.
Man. Oh, TBB in it. Tough break for those two.
This takes out the fuel equation.
Yeah, and TBB took the worst end of it.
And Arthur has a meatball flag. You could argue he's got the worst of it by far. From the hooking.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. At first, it looked like there was damage from TBB, but I don't see any. So that was probably from Mark Arthur's machine, and that's why he's got the meatball.
So let's see how many people roll the dice with it being like a super speedway for the tire wear. Gonna be an interesting situation for everyone involved. Track position gonna be so pivotal. Close things out. We've seen what happened to the last person who took 2 tires though, and Kyle Wellman. Once you lose the lead, it's so difficult to hold on.
It all goes back to that clean air. You know, if you do take 2 laps, you better be able to hold yourself and get away from the field because they're coming with that draft, and if you get caught up in it, you're going to get steamrolled, freight trained on the outside.
Cause of caution is on 17, Brian Dees. So Dees, with that, will lose all the track position they had built up all race long with some of the previous pit calls. We have Marasco spinning into pit road. Marasco just about looped it in the pit stall, and this is disaster for the 1.
Yeah, disaster for the 1 who's had such a great run. He's going to lose a lot of track position being out in front.
Yep.
Out in front.
Yep. Nobody took 2 tires. There's a lot of damage repair for more than half the field. Marasco, though, my goodness. See the smoke puffs on the bottom of your screen. He just managed to loop it in his pit stall when stopping in the box. I've seen drivers slide to the box, but not spin it with a flick spin.
I've seen people I haven't seen anybody do it by themselves, but I've seen like certain situations where another car will clip them and they'll spin into their pit box backwards, and they'll actually do their pits, get their service done backwards, and then turn it around and come out of the pits.
Levine, meanwhile, was very bored. He's playing with the pace car.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But it's him who is leading at the very least, though. Carroll, Lagoons, Marr, Mackey, Bruden, Moody, Marasco, Bell, Zimmerman on the top 10 off the lane this time through. By the way, Matt the Kleinschmidt was the lucky dog after 26 laps in the fuel run, Emmett. He ran out of gas. We were just about to pit probably before the caution.
Man, that is that's costly for sure. Let me ask you this, Justin. We're gonna have less than 22 laps to go when we go green.
Yep.
What are you thinking as a driver?
What would I be thinking? How am I going to hold on to the clean air? How am I going to make sure to manage the draft? How am I going to make sure no one gets run to the inside before the tires start to really wear past lap 15? There's a lot of things you're thinking about. What would you be thinking about?
I think I'm thinking about how am I going to be able to get the advantage on this restart, but not jump the restart and get the penalty for sure. Because that will set the tone that if you do get the clean air, you should be able to pull away from the field.
Now we'll see what happens on this restart. Good track position for Lagoons here with this situation, by the way. After a great pit stop sequence, one of the fastest pit lane deltas. To be able to start inside row 2 after being involved in some of the incidents earlier. Let's find out how racy they get with 22 laps to go. This race sprinting on through on this night. Already stacking up on the outside. Levine goes inside. We're backing away.
Yeah, Levine able to get it. Look at Hunter Lagoons going to shoot to the number 2 spot right in front of Chris Carroll. But Levine able to lead him down the front stretch.
The drivers trying to go. Mackey inside. Marr outside. Able to get back single file as Marasco, as Amonsto's trying to get Darty. Huge checkups on the outside. All while for the race lead. Lagoons is going for it. Lagoons just doored Levine up the track. Here comes Carroll. 3 wide on the cut. Carroll alongside for second. Levine holds on alongside the 27. Now it's Carroll trying to make the poke. Marr misses the bottom.
Oh,
they
man.
stack up. Marasco got into the 4. They all wrecked. The back half of the field is in it.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Marasco.
Multiple people just sent it. All started with the stack up off the corner from the 27, and it got worse from there.
I want to hear the team communication between Lagoons and Carroll. Because look at that. That's 2 Pit Lizard cars right there. And, I mean, it almost worked. But couldn't get it to get in front.
It just got worse from there, though. Brasco actually got hit from behind. They all just stack up like Lego bricks.
It just looks like a traffic jam on the interstate, for sure.
I think it was Chris Mackey who may have just got the Kazakashi there, or because Mackey just got into the back of Marasco in that situation, the 9 car. And that's the tough thing is, one bit of contact can be the spell that makes things all the worse. Watch right here. Yeah, stacked up, got into the 4, got Marasco into the 1 and the 4 together, and everybody else just nowhere to go as it turned into a parking lot. Meatballs for drivers like D's, Booty, or that got him in, so that at least 2 or 3 meatball flags flew this caution as well.
Well, this has been a very interesting race, playoff-wise. I can't wait to see what happens at Phoenix for sure.
Now everybody gets the chance to go in down pit road to the back half of the field. Mackey, the first in, Marasco also is in, Zimmerman, Amonso's in. Lots of people who have crashed going in and out on pit road. Mackey just took gas. Marasco, what is he doing in pit road? I mean, he broke the axle, I believe. So he has had a hard time in the pit box today. I don't think he's allowed to repair that at this point.
Take a look at Zimmerman, too, when he's coming in. Zimmerman's car was so skewed. Right here, look as he comes in. That car is not going straight, guys.
I mean, Austin Edstrom did attempt to race.
Yeah.
Crab walking earlier this season. He proceeded to crash. He can try it if he wants. By the way, Marasco has, gotten stuck in his pit stall, so he's not having a good time.
Yeah, that was back at Kansas.
We're running out of clean race cars, though. We have maybe 9 clean cars left.
Wow.
John Perkins is John Perkins is the highest out of those who have pit this caution flag for the repairs, but coming up to what will be likely an 18-lap dash. It's going to be a Levine or Carroll. That's at least my thought, Emmett. Who do you think can Lagoons upset him?
That would be huge. It'll be interesting to see how Pit Lizard, how they play this out team-wise. Because you can't tell me that wasn't a team move that they tried to pull on Levine right there. It'll be interesting to see how they play it out, for sure. But I think Chris Carroll might get this one, Justin, to answer your question.
Now let's see.
Look at Larry Bell, up in P4. Unbelievable.
Too much damage is the reason, by the way, we've seen Marasco get stuck. Zimmerman is indeed trying to drive the crab walking car, by the way.
Oh, man.
So Zimmerman is going to be zipping around the racetrack.
I mean, playoffs, I mean, every point matters, so I can understand, but look at this. Look at this right here, though.
Look at it. This is not going to last. So the driver is saying it's impressive that he's actually able to drive the thing.
I have to have a law enforcement might come in there and think that they might have to give it a breathalyzer, seeing how he's driving. Oh, man.
So 18 to go. Doing this once again. Let's see what happens. Green flag is out. We're backing away. Black flag's getting cleared, by the way, so don't worry about those on the top of the ticker. Already Lagoons to second. What will he do after already some door-to-door contact with the race lead?
Yeah, sorry, my ADD kicked in because I saw John Perkins crab walking just a hair into the corner, but yeah, what a move by Lagoons. He did it from the
We have two of the cars crab walking, by the way. Like, Zimmerman's way off the pace, by the way.
Oh my, how did he keep it off the wall?
It could be like Sam Lawrence Jr., but that was intentional back in the day. Absolute rocket ship with the car tomorrow with the skew.
There is a name I have not heard.
Coming around 16 to go next time by. Boone still trying to find a way to go. We do have a driver standing by the infield care center. Ty Moresco has asked to be spoken with. So Ty, how would you describe the incident you just took part in?
I don't know. It's just hectic on the restart right there, but I made a move onto the inside, cleared them, then just got loud right in the back, and it pushed me right into the car in front of me, and trying to save it and all, and just hitting all the cars, and eventually got turned right up into the wall. Tough day for the #1 Ford Mustang, but I'm glad we got 19 stage points though, so it shouldn't hurt us too bad, hopefully. But very disappointing. I thought we had a definitely race-winning car tonight.
I've described the challenge of the playoffs, especially with the full reset that sees the pressure build up for a lot of drivers.
Well, been here before, been here many a time, so same old deal, just try to get the points, and like I said, we had a good point day going ahead right there, but yeah, it just sucks. The reset definitely, makes, helps me a little bit maybe, because, I was farther down in the points, only had one bonus point coming in, so yeah, it's just going to build as the races go on.
How do you feel about Phoenix next time out?
I raced pretty good at Phoenix. I don't know the exact what I've finished lately, but these these cars are so drafty, and it's frustrating. I said it would be like this car, but what we're chose to race with, so got to go out there and race it.
Anyone want to give a shout out to before we get back to the battling on track?
I like to shout out you guys for doing this every week. It's pretty fun to go watch back, and like my teammates, MFRD, and everybody for putting on another fun season, and hopefully we can go out to Phoenix and maybe get a win.
Thank you much for the time.
Wow.
For the race lead, Lagoons going for it. We spoke with Marasco, but Lagoons could not make the bottom work. Levine on the high side, able to get the squeeze. Lagoons is running out of time to do this.
Yeah, he's running out of time. I mean, we're coming to 14 laps to go, and I think Lagoons is just seeing where he can make that move when it comes time. So I think he's going to just ride around here and not get too excited and anxious and try to take that lead away, and just got to be patient right here for sure.
Yeah, turn 2 has not really worked today. Turn 1, if you're able to clear by, it has. We'll say William Bruton holding on to this main pack right now. One of these several drivers like Larry Bell especially that have been running in the teams much of the day, but with this extending DNF list, I've just been able to take advantage and potentially get good points hauls.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at this lineup, I mean, we see all these cars. And another thing, Dalton Kilrow is on the lead lap, and he's running in 9th. So if he gets a top 10 out of this thing, Justin, what a comeback for the day.
Right now, we're seeing, at this point, a top 10 opportunity here at the least. Just John Perkins, who is driving a skewing race car. TBB are on his lap. Well, Brian Zimmerman is still in the lead lap, but he is running times that are 8 seconds off the pace. So 12 laps to go. That's going to be the mark at the stripe here. Two teammates looking to try and work something out here. The Goons pushing wide up the hill. Here comes Carroll, electing to push instead.
Yeah, just trying to help his teammate out because Lagoons hasn't won all season, has he?
For Lagoons, trying to break on through tonight. Let's put it that way. He, so far this season, no wins on the campaign. Alongside Levine, couldn't get the pole to pass on by. Will he get the help? Yes, he will. Lagoons gets back in line.
And it's so awesome to see Lagoons have a sponsor and running a wrap. You know, for the longest time, he was just running just a white 27 with no sponsor. So great to see that. And this would be huge if he's able to get the win.
We're seeing a great chance here with the different look. I will say the sponsors on the race car are from the iRacing side, or the paint scheme. Here comes Brian Zimmerman. Brian Zimmerman is down on the apron. So they will pass by. Got to be careful. Zimmerman does. He will be careful. Out of the shot, in fact. They zip on by.
Yeah, that's going to allow Lagoons. He's happy because, I mean, oh, man, look at that. Great shot right there from our producer, Mr. Howie. Yeah, I mean, Mark Arthur, Justin Levine able to just hang on to this top spot is just remarkable, and be able to give the defense and keep Lagoons at bay for sure.
Right now, Lagoons is getting into position. Now has pulled away from Carroll. 10 laps to go. Final 10 times around from Pocono. Setup is there. Lagoons not able to get enough pull, though, to do anything. That's the tough thing. It might require the bump trap to have a true shot here because Levine's so good in the clean air.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you, if I'm Hunter Lagoons, that's who I want to see behind me, is that 97, because he's my teammate. I know that he's going to try to help me and make it a 1-2 battle for this win for Pit Lizard Racing.
See some of the drivers hitting the rumble strips again. Tanner Marr, despite damage, is now up in 4th. Great team day for Five Kings Motorsports, in line potentially if things hold. Five Kings with a lot of droppers tonight. They had 7 enter the race this evening alone. Still 8.5 to go in this one as Levine just tries to show his corner speed advantage. Lagoons not close enough to try poke.
Got Lagoons trying to get up to the back bumper, but just can't get enough momentum to get to that corner panel. He can get to the bumper, he just can't get it to the panel where he can get the side draft and ultimately try to pull the side of Levine.
Right now, Lagoons still trying as he might. Zimmerman trying as he can, just run. He's still going. Hasn't really had any problems turning around. He's had no snap arounds. I'm surprised he's still functioning, but he just wants to finish.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he passed John Perkins for the position, so give him another position for sure.
Race lead is on. Lagoons is on the poke again. Tried to get the run. Instead, back to the outside again. Lined up single file. It's just not working there. He cannot make that work in turn 2. He's got to do what Levine did. Charge the corner into 1 and then make it stick.
Yeah, and then also he might just, back up to his teammate Chris Carroll and try to get a big push from Carroll to try to get him past, pushing past Levine, and if Lagoons is able to slingshot around and take away this lead for sure.
Yep, indeed. Shade starting to really hit the racetrack, make it dark all of a sudden. No poke for the race lead this time for the 27. Carroll going a little bit lower, trying to get some cleaner on the right front. Levine just able to get more power out on these corner exits to allow the opportunity to build. Lagoons trying to charge the corner again. Still 6 laps to work with here at Pocono. Lagoons is better in 3. Levine is better in 2.
Yeah, the tonal turn is the big advantage of this battle for sure. As we see Levine under fire now. Lagoons trying to shoot to the inside.
Didn't go full committed though on the lunge inside. Levine gets better angles, gets better pull. Levine able to hold on, not even a chance to keep it side by side there.
Yeah, and I think Chris Carroll saw his teammate Hunter Lagoons when he pulled alongside Levine, tried to get down there to give him a little drafting help to get him alongside of Levine so that he could get in front and side draft to the lead for sure.
Yep, right now, all over the bumper. Here we go. This is for the lead a little bit earlier this time. Enough to get a side draft down. This might be it. 5 laps to go. Lagoons yet to get a win this season. Levine pulls him back. Lagoons couldn't get the clearance. Still about same on the braking mark. Yet again, Levine clears. And Carroll is going for it.
Oh my God.
Zimmerman at a bad time is down low.
Yeah, that's gonna. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Nearly got hit there. Zimmerman had to go very low to avoid getting hit. Lagoons lost a ton of ground.
Yeah, Lagoons lost a ton of ground right there. But I think Trevor Harmon actually got some damage from Brian Zimmerman. Oh, man.
Rudin, by the way, just destroyed the wall hearing. He's running 8th. Just trying to finish things out. He avoided damage at the very least. Some drivers in the back here, Trevor Harmon, Laurie Bell, also are fighting pretty hard. But up front, Lagoon still holds on to second. 3.5 laps to do something, anything to pass the 5.
Yeah, and he's trying to get some drafting help from Chris Carroll. It's Chris Carroll is actually caught up to the back bumper of the 27 of Lagoons. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at this. Zimmerman is at the high side of the track this time.
Yeah, right now Zimmerman just running his own race at this point. He's on his own planet. Right now, Levine trying to break some draft.
Oh my gosh.
Actually got some off the lap car. That got a little bit sketchy very fast with Terrell Butcher Benjamin. Kind of worked out for Levine, but I think Levine's better overall now. Lagoons is too tight. Here comes Carroll. Carroll to take away second spot. Chris Carroll moves into P2. 2.5 laps to go.
Yeah, look at this. Tanner Marr's going to try to follow Carroll, trying to get him some drafted help, but Lagoons shuts the door on Marr and gets behind his teammate, trying to push him to the win.
Lots of space right now to close up right here. Levine already more than half a second up the road. Carroll is going to have to push like mad. Less than 2 laps to go from Pocono. Now Carroll's got good corner exit speed. Levine went up the hill, 1/10 lost. Bell.
Oh, Larry Bell!
Was well low.
Larry Bell got shot out of there.
He smacked the wall. That's why he went so low on the racetrack. Right now, coming up to the white flag. Carroll, not well close enough at all for anything. He's going to need the perfect lap if he needs to get to the bumper of Levine. White flag is out. Final time around for the Pocono Mountains. Right now, Levine trying to bobble and weave. Some battling to the back of the lead group. Going to lose him some ground, but it's Carroll. It's going to be the focus. He's down to 2.5 tenths. Levine trying to snake, trying to defend, trying to get himself win number 8.
Man, he dropped down to the apron big time.
Carroll using the apron himself to rotate. Down to under 2 tenths. Does Carroll go for a huge lunge? He is. He's going to the bumper. He hits Levine.
He got him.
Carroll gets to the door. Side by side as Carroll slams into Levine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Justin Levine wins it.
Man.
Carroll gave everything right there. How about a 7-time bump? The 5 gets the edge.
Yeah, gave him a big shot right there, and then just down that long front stretch to the line drag race.
Fun ending there. Over the radio, they're saying that was a lot of time closed up with the course of 3 laps. That was the only shot Carroll even had to get something, anything there.
Yeah, and props to Chris Carroll. He didn't turn him, raced him clean, just gave him a little bump.
Levine gets the win unofficially over Carroll, 48 1,000ths of a second. Goods and Marr, followed by Bell with the top 5. Mackey, Harmon, Bruden, Gilmore, Kilroe should say, and John Perkins. All much your top 10 tonight.
Yeah, at 11th you'll find TBB, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 12th will be Matthew Kleinschmidt. 13th, Brian Zimmerman. 14th, Todd Marasco. 15th, Brian Dees. 16th, Nicholas Moody. 17th, Mark Arthur. 18th, Kyle Wellman. 19th, Cody Gibson. 20th, Mike Massagill. And in 21st, Aaron Buckover.
Don Taban about the running order here tonight as we wait for the drivers to make their way on over. We do have some of them ready to join us already. Hunter Lagoons now joins us from 3rd spot. Hunter, how would you describe that race? You're in the conversation late. Hunter, do you have a copy? We do not have Hunter's audio. Hunter, one more time. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I unplugged my mic.
Okay. So ask us again, how would you describe that race, especially with you in the conversation with the win?
It was all right. I felt like I wasn't really a top 3 car. I felt like I was more like a top 7 car, honestly. I mean, I didn't have the speed all race that I needed or wanted. So, glad to finish 3rd, but probably at the end of the night didn't deserve it, honestly.
What was the most difficult thing about this package here tonight?
Probably the aero, honestly. Aero and the draft. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of these cars and the draft package they've got on them. You can't really pull away, and if you can pull away, it's kind of mid. I mean, you burn up more fuel, and it's just,
So with that being said, how do you feel about Phoenix next week?
It's a short track-ish. I like short track, so kind of excited there, and hopefully we can put on a good run there, and yeah.
So anyone you want to think about the run tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Chris Carroll, 5 Kings, Pitless Performance, Tanner Marr, Brian Zimmerman, Chris Mackley, Cody Gibson, and Tanner Marr. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and then thank everyone, all the admins over here putting on this league. It's a great league we've got over here. I love the competition. It's really good, fun racing. So Can't ask for much more.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you.
Hunter Lagoons coming away with third. Second goes to Chris Carroll. He's with Emmett.
Chris Carroll, you come home second, man. Talk about too close to call. What could you have done to get in front of Justin right there?
Well, I was patient the whole race, the way that draft package was. I was kind of marred, and I felt like I had the best car long run, and kind of got marred in third a bunch of that race and the aero stuff. You can't get away as the leader. The guys behind you can't pass you, so it's kind of like Talladega lifting out there. And I got it down in there. I knew I wouldn't wreck him making the move I made. I figured I could get him loose and get up beside him. But I think the mistake I made, Emmett, I think once I was there, I think I should have turned down to the wall instead of banging into each other's cars. I think it would have put my momentum ahead when he had to turn down into me. But I don't know. You get into those situations and you just kind of run off of instinct. And it's nice to be able to have a guy like Justin that you can go and race like that and not wreck each other and go for a win. It's a lot of fun right there. I don't think you'll have any more fun on iRacing than finishes like that.
So let me ask you this. We're heading to Phoenix next week. How do you build on this momentum going to race number 2 in the playoffs?
Emmett, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I drive my car. I try and put myself in position to win. And other than that, I try and take care of guys and try and be as clean as I can. But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do at the end of a race. But I just do that until that changes, until that strategy doesn't work. That's how I race.
All right. Well, is there anyone you'd like to thank out there before we let you go?
Yeah, I always got to thank USAFirearms.com, Brian Zimmerman, powering all our cars out here. He been with him a long time. Awesome guy. You want to get your firearms, get it from him. Got to thank Tanner Marr. Got to thank, without Five Kings and those guys, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing here. Got to thank everybody that runs the league here. Got to thank my teammates, Cody and Hunter. And, all the guys we run out with here. I learned a lot running behind Hunter, how to make passes there tonight. So he gave me some valuable information. But, I got to thank all my friends and family for watching and everybody here that puts the time and effort into this league to make it what it is.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Thanks, sir. Thanks
All
for
right,
good
Justin.
interview.
Oh,
That's Chris Carroll. Second spot, Justin Levine is the one who gets the edge in the very end, though. Justin, how would you describe that battle for the finish?
Awesome. I had a lot of fun. Chris sent it in, and he could have shipped me, and it would have been over. I would have backed it right into the wall. But he lifted and made sure I was all right, and then we just door slammed all the way to the line.
It was an exciting one for sure here tonight. How would you describe having the clean air compared to those who said they were having trouble with the aero behind you in the dirty?
Oh, it was king. I needed to make sure that last pit stop that I had control. As long as you didn't let anybody to your right side, you had full control. Hunter sent it in a couple of times, had major runs, and he just wasn't able to clear me because of that dirty air and the side force and side drafting. Earlier in the race, I had to come through the field, and I kept burning my stuff up, just trying to send it in, drive harder than the guy on my outside. And it kind of worked. And then if you didn't have that partner basically with you to give you a little momentum into the corner, or at least give you that, pull you down on the backstretch or somewhere, you weren't making the pass. It was over.
With that being said, now that you get yourself very comfortable, obviously, to get yourself the victory tonight to start the postseason, what's the approach now going to be for Phoenix?
Same thing. Always attack. Right now, being the points leader, having a little bit of a buffer, I never want that to slip out of my hands if I have a chance. So keep attacking.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Oh, definitely you guys. Can't wait to go back and watch the product. You guys do such a great job broadcasting. Love it. Mark and Thomas and all the admins that put this on for us, and of course all the viewers.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you, Justin.
Justin Levine rounds out our top three. I'd like to take the time to thank the top three for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Green Flag TV. Your final thoughts here tonight, Evan, as we close things out from the Pocono Mountains.
what a crazy way to get these playoffs started, Justin. I mean, we saw so many guys having trouble, and I'm ready to go to Phoenix for sure.
Your upcoming schedule now on the right side of your screen HTRL amongst those on Monday. Wednesday is Beer League competition at Suzuka, should say. Then it's Average Joe at Homestead on Thursday, also with Speed at Bristol. FDR at Make Me Coors, that's a 4-hour endurance race. That's lined up also with VOR at the Indy Road Course that day. You also have SRA at Homestead on the Saturday as well. Part of the upcoming schedules, all those Eastern time. Don't forget this series heads to Phoenix next. That coverage will start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. You're on the schedule. So, on that note, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's action. For my co-announcer Emmett Crow, for Howie Burrows, our producer, for the Twitter banner that is wrong, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's coverage of what has been a busy night in Blazing Pedals in the ARCA Series from Pocono.